Hi fellow traders, I hope everybody is having a great weekend. I spent most of mine in the rain at a football game, in the rain looking for a Christmas tree and all that good stuff. So I spent most of my weekend in the rain, and it's still pretty cloudy. I don't know if it's gonna rain anymore today. But you know, welcome to another edition of Rollin with Ed, where I take your questions, the most popular questions that I get every week, and give you an in-depth answer. So the first thing I want to talk about, now I did do my market analysis as part of, I always do my market analysis as part of the swing trade watch list session that we have every Sunday morning in chat. So if you guys are members, you can at least come in. It doesn't matter whether you like swing trading or not, or you want to swing trade. You can always come in 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, and I'll do my market analysis, what happened the week before, what I'm looking for to happen going forward. So you could always pop in for that for the first 15 to 20 minutes, and then sign off if you don't want to hear about the swing trade watches and stuff. So I did do that. We talked about how the market last week, it had its largest weekly gain in 2018. Even though we're still down for the month, and we're still way off the highs of the market, this week was the largest weekly gain percentage-wise that we've had all year. And we had a lot of positive things fueling that, and I think we can continue to grow. Number one being the consumer spending reports that came out show that we had an awesome Black Friday and Cyber Monday in terms of consumer spending. That's looking pretty good. The Fed chairman, what's his name, Powell, he backtracked from his statement in October that the interest rates were a good ways away from neutral. And this past week he said they're right under neutral. So, that had a big positive impact. Plus, all week leading up to this G20 summit, we've been getting positive reports on the trade tensions, that the tensions are easing and whatnot. But, in reality, anything that happens is going to be months. It's going to take months in order to, really come to some type of conclusion or agreement that's going to help make this, really have a lasting impact. Now, the market, I still think, is going to move every time somebody says something about it. I think it's going to bring some volatility in the market, but to have a solid, sustained change, it's going to take some serious negotiations to get us out of this mess that we're in right now. But that's my opinion on it. We're going to look going forward. The market is running into some overhead resistance. So if we could break through that, and there's a level around the $280 mark on the spot that seemed to have become a level of resistance. It was resistance back in, February and March, when the market sold off the last time. Eventually it broke through it and it held its support for a little bit. But since we have broken back through it and fallen back through that 280 level, it has shown to be a solid resistance. So we'll see if it tests it again this week, whether we're going to break through it or it's going to hold as resistance again and we're going to come back down. So I'm interested in seeing how that the take on that. So that's all I had on, my thoughts on the market. I just kind of gave you an abbreviated version of it. But if you want to see the whole thing with charts, the video from the recording from our session this morning should be up on the website a little bit later today. All right, so the question that I want to address today is, it's one that I get a lot of, but what happened this time, I got called out as a hypocrite. Now, whenever you put stuff out publicly, anytime you say something that contradicts something you said earlier, people are going to call you on it, which, is a good thing, because it helps keep you focused, and it helps you that if something didn't come across the way you wanted it to, you can come through and clarify. So, this trader said that, asked me, how can I advocate not having daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and all of that when I present the fact that you got to have a trading plan, a trading business plan, and in that business plan you need to have weekly, monthly, yearly projections. And I think he answered his own question in the question he posed to me. There's a difference between having a monetary goal that you focus on every day when you start trading versus having projections or projected goals in your business plan. They're two different things. If you have, now in your business plan, of course, you're going to have a budget. You need to know how much it's going to cost you to run your business. And in order for business to grow, your income's going to have to grow. So as a trader, you're going to get better as time goes on if you're doing the right things. You're going to grow. Your account's going to grow. You're going to get better. You're going to be more efficient. You're going to make more money. So let's say in the first year, by the end of the year, I want to have averaged, $250 a day, or let's say $1,250 a week. Which $1,250 a week averages down to $250 a day, on average. Now, obviously, you don't trade all 5 days a week, every week, all 52 weeks. You don't. There are holidays, there are half days, there are days when your trade just aren't going to set up. But over the course of the year, at the end of the year, your goal, your projection is to have, average $250 a week. $250 a day, or $1,250 a week, or $5,000 a month. Either, however you want to look at it. But that's your projection. If you start focusing on that every day, you're going to make bad decisions in your trading, because you're going to force trades. Oh, here comes the rain. You're going to force too many trades. And when you force trades, good things just don't happen. You may get lucky and hit one or two, but overall, it's going to be a losing proposition. So that's why I say you don't want to have a monetary goal every day that you want to hit and say, I got my daily goal, so I'm going to stop trading. No, that's not what I mean. Now, when you're first starting out, when you're just starting trading, and I'm working with you, and you're going live, then I'm going to tell you, you take one live trade a day for a couple of weeks. Don't take any other trade. One live trade a day. Focus on finding that perfect setup and taking that trade. If the setup doesn't feel good to you, don't take it. You know, but take that one trade a day. Win, lose, or draw. One trade a day. Okay, we just focus on that. And then we kind of grow from there. But once you know, have grown through that and you're trading, you know, fully trading live, you need to focus on maximizing the efficiency of each trade. That's it. Not how much money you're going to make. Not how much money you've got made already. You focus on executing that trade to the best of your ability. And if you do that, the money's going to be there at the end. Okay? And that's what all big time traders do. Okay, when you make your trading plan, that's when you're focusing on what the profit potential is. If I've got the potential to make $400-500. I'm gonna risk 100. After that, there's no more thinking about money. You know what your stop is. You know what your ultimate profit target is. After that, you start focusing on reading the chart, reading price action, not money. If you focus on money, you will screw up. Believe me, you will screw up. So focus on the chart. Focus on reading the price action, executing your trade plan. Okay, your trade plan is where you think about how much money you're gonna make. Does the trade make sense for me to take it? If it does, make your trade plan live and look to execute it. Once you're in it, execute it and move on. So when I say you have projections in your trading plan, has nothing to do with what you need to make every day. We're talking about overall growth. You know, and that's what it's about. And if you do things right, you're going to consistently grow. Okay, over 2 years, I consistently grew as a trader. Before I knew it, I went from making, $150 to $250 a day to making, over $1,000 a day. Just taking small steps, just growing, focusing on developing the skills, and that's what it takes. I can't put it any other way. But let me rant a minute though. Let me end this with a little rant here. The worst enemy that you're gonna ever face in trading is the person you see when you look in the mirror in the morning. That's the worst enemy that you're ever gonna face. We are our own worst enemy in this trading deal. And if we don't accept that, and we don't start being truthful about what we do and our abilities, what our limitations are, then we'll never grow. We'll never get to the point where we're profitable and that we'll be able to make money. So, number one, no matter how bad it hurts, you have to make the pledge that you're always going to be honest with yourself, and that you're going to realize that your own worst enemy is yourself. If you're staring yourself in the face every morning, it's a fight against you. And think about it. In trading, think about it. When you make mistakes, what usually causes you to make mistakes? Not your broker. Your broker doesn't make you take trades. Your computer doesn't make you take trades. The internet doesn't make you take trades. I don't make you take trades. Whoever you're learning from doesn't make you. You can't blame anybody if the trade goes wrong. The only person you can blame is yourself. Now, I know there are platform issues every now and then, and you know, we're dealing with technology, and technology doesn't work all the time. But that's different. I'm talking, technology is not going to fail day in and day out. Okay? Once every blue moon, you're going to have technology fail. I'm talking about on a day-to-day basis. You cannot blame anything else if you don't have discipline. You can't blame anybody else if you didn't have the patience to wait and allow the trade to set up before you took it. You took it too early and you got stopped out. You can't blame anybody for that. You know, whose fault is it? You know, so I had to look at it that way. And until I started looking at that and realizing that I was my own worst enemy, you know, I couldn't go anywhere. And it's funny because we can actually sell ourselves. Because we're not honest with ourselves, we can actually sell ourselves on damn near anything. Okay? And this goes to another question that I got this week. Why don't I do free webinars? Okay, free webinars are a marketing thing. Okay, because what these guys do is they make it seem like their strategy is so easy, and they say how easy it is for them to do it, and they show you on a dead chart how easy it is, and then it's up to you. They offer you their service for oftentimes a reduced price, and then you sell yourself. It sells itself because, you know, we see that, okay, this is what we want. This is what we want, and we want to have it as soon as possible. We want it as easy as possible, and so we take that chance, and we convince ourselves that we're good enough and that we're disciplined enough, even though we know we're not. We know we're not disciplined yet. We know we're not patient enough yet in order to make it happen. But we convince ourselves that we are, and you know, we do what we can, scrape up, use credit cards, whatever we got to do, pay that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and within a week we regret the fact that we did that, because we realize that we just sold ourselves on, you know, something that wasn't real. And why did that happen? Okay, and that's the second principle that I want to share with you. Number one was you have to be honest with yourself, no matter how much it hurts. You have to be honest with yourself up front about your weaknesses, what you need to work on, and the things that you're lacking to be successful in this career. Everybody does. And once I admitted that and I did what I needed to do to help me, you know, fix those things and get better at it, I was just stuck in a rut. So the next thing, the second principle I want to share with you is that you need to focus on, whenever you get ready to make a decision, a big decision about your trading career, you need to focus on what's important to you. You know, you need to focus on what's important to you, not what you want right now. Okay? It's different. You know what your values are. What you value the most is what you need to focus on. And most of the time, it's going to be, what does it take for me to be able to be a successful trader? You know, consistently successful trader, and be able to sustain this throughout my lifetime so that I can be free, so that I can do the things that I want to do, you know, in this life, so that I can give my family the things that they need. And if you think about that first versus what you want now, and most of the time what we want now is instant success. We want instant gratification. We live in an instant world. And it's hard to, you know, put that behind us, but it's the truth. And until we can accept that and move on and realize, you know, what we need to focus on, then, you know, we're going to keep sitting here spinning our wheels. Or like what I like to say, stuck in a rut. Can't get out. You know, we're just digging ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper. So, you know, you got to, I just don't know how else to say it other than you just got to be honest with yourself, accept the circumstances that you're in, accept what your limitations are, and understand what you're going to need to do to improve it, and focus on what's really important to you, what your ultimate goal is, versus what you want to do right now or what you want right now. Because it's not about what you want, it's about what you need in order to be successful. So that's my spiel for this week. I'm sorry if I went off on the wrong rant, but I just felt that I had to share that with you. So you guys have a great rest of the weekend. Wednesday, I'm doing, that's my version of a free webinar. You come in, you get to see me go through my process live in the morning and actually trade the markets live. It's what you see every day in chat. Exactly, every day in chat. The morning is our busiest time. Oftentimes, it's just dead the rest of the day. We're just dead. But the morning is when we do our best work. And then a lot of times we catch these earnings plays late in the day. It's like the middle of the day is just dead, but early we make money and late we make money. So, but you guys, I'm inviting you in to come check us out on Wednesday mornings. I'll probably be doing that throughout December as well. We'll see how things work going into the new year. But, the only thing I'm trying to sell you on is what it really takes to be a trader. The things that we really have to go through in order to be successful. So I hope I'm doing a good job doing that. So you guys take it easy. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I will catch you in the morning.